Alrighty, here we are on lesson 7, markup and markdown problems. So we're kind of solving using the same setup that we've been using, but now we need to consider with markup and markdown what we are actually paying out of the total 100%. So if we look at example 1, it says Games Galore Superstore buys the latest video game at a wholesale price of $30. The markup rate at Games Galore Superstore is 40%. You use your allowance to purchase the game at the store. How much will you pay, not including tax? So, it says to write an equation to find the price of the game. So we're going to use our proportions setup. So we know this is 100. Alright, and we know that the original, or the whole price, was 30. And we're looking for how much we paid. But now when we get to the percent, it's a markup, so you need to think about how you paid the entire 100%, which is 30, but then another 40% additionally, so you're paying for 140%. Okay? So the next part says, says to solve the equation from part A, so I'm going to rewrite it down here. Equals 140 over 100. So you end up with 100x equals 4200. Divide by 100. And you get that x equals 42. So you would have paid $42. Right? And then when you go back and check to make sure, does it make sense? Is that higher than the wholesale price? Then yes. So C says, what is the total markup of the video game? So to find just the markup, we're going to take what we paid minus the original, and you get 12. So it'd be a $12 markup. Alright. D says, you and a friend are discussing markup rate. He says that an easier way to find the total markup is by multiplying the wholesale price of $30 by 40%. Do you agree with him? So if we do 30 times 0.40, you would get $12. Alright, the thing you have to remember that is only the markup, so we'd have to take our 30 plus the 12 to get our 42. So you do get the same thing, but this would take an extra step. Alright, so same idea, but I think what we did at the top takes out that extra step by adding it to 100. Okay, but we can go ahead and flip on to the next page. It says a $300 mountain bike is discounted by 30%. Discounted by 30%, and then discounted an additional 10% for shoppers who arrive before 5 a.m. It says to find the sales price of the bicycle. So, because it's discounted twice, we're going to have to do two proportions. So, if we set up our first one, we know this is 100. We know the original price was 300. We're looking for the sale price. So if it was discounted by 30%, that means that we paid 70% of the original cost. So this is going to be 70. So now if we solve, we get 100x equals 121,000 divided by 100. And you get x equals 210. Alright, but that's the first one. Then it was discounted an additional 10%. So I'm going to have to do another proportion. Here's my 100. But now my price is 210. Looking for our sale price. And now if it's discounted 10%, that means we paid for 90% of that whole price. So this will be 90. When we go to solve, we get 100x equals 18,900. Divide by 100. And you get x equals 189. So that would be how much you would actually pay for it. Okay. B says in all, by how much has the bicycle been discounted? So if we do 300, that original price, minus our final sale price, you get $111. C says, after both discounts were taken, what was the total percent discount? Explain why the total percent discount is not 40%. So we're trying to find our percent discount. So here's our proportion. This is 100. We know the original was 300. And then our sale price was 189. And we're looking for our percent. This is like percent change. So when we multiply, we get 18,900 equals 300x. Divide by 300 on both sides. And you get 63 equals x. So we would say that it's a 63% total discount, which is a pretty good deal. Alright, so we're going to do a few more here. Number 1 here says, Sasha went shopping and decided to purchase a set of bracelets for 25% off of the regular price. If Sasha buys the bracelets today, she will receive an additional 5%. Find the sales price of the set of bracelets with both discounts. How much money will Sasha save if she buys the bracelets today? So the cost is over here in the picture. They are $44. So we're going to start with the first 25% off. So here's our proportion. Here's 100. We know that they cost $44, so that goes on the bottom. We're looking for the sales price. If they are 25% off, that means that we paid 75% of the original cost. So this is 75. So we get 100x equals 3,300. Divide by 100. And you get x equals $33. Right, but now we want to figure out when she gets an additional 5% off. So I'm going to set up another proportion, 100, and now our new original cost would be $33. This is x. So if she saved 5%, that means she paid 95%. So we get 100x equals 3135. Divide by 100, and you get x equals $31.35. Okay? Another way you could do this to shorten it up a bit would be if you use our part equals percent times whole kind of setup there, and you would do x equals, and our first percent that we paid was 0.75, then we paid 95%, and then times the 44, and you still get the same cost, 31.35 altogether. Okay, so you could do it that way as well, but we'll talk more about that in class. We're going to do one more here. Number 2 says, a golf store purchases a set of clubs at a wholesale price of $250. Mr. Edmond learned that the clubs were marked up 200%. Is it possible to have a percent increase greater than 100%? We know yes. And then what is the retail price of the clubs? So if they were marked up 200%, that means that he actually paid. Alright, so we paid that 300%. Because if it was marked up 200% and you paid for that whole thing already, that would be 300%. So if we set up our proportion here, this is 100. We know we paid 300%, so that goes up here. The original cost was $250. We're looking for how much they paid. So we have 100x equals 75,000. Divide by 100. X equals 750. Alright? If you were to do it using the equation, you would have x equals 250 times just 3 when you change that into a decimal, and you still get 750. So the retail price would be $750. Right? This is how stores make money. They mark up their prices of the things that they bought from the warehouse. Okay? We're going to stop here for right now, and we're going to work on the rest of the notes in class. So if you have any questions, just bring those to class tomorrow.